Welcome to VERSED, the ASCAP podcast, where we explore the heart, soul, and power of music with the people who create it. I'm your host, Eric Philbrook. I'm joined today by ASCAP Associate Director of Membership in Nashville, Beth Brinker, one of my favorite co-pilots. Hey, Beth.
What's up, Eric? Thanks for having me.
So, coming up on the show today is Beth's interview with one of country music's leading ladies, Carly Pearce, who just announced she will be releasing a brand new album in early 2020. And speaking of Nashville, we are recording today at the ASCAP offices in Music City. Right on. So, Beth, besides all the construction seemingly everywhere, what's new in Nashville?
I know, we're right in the heart of Music Row here at the ASCAP Nashville office. For us, we're primarily gearing up to honor our top songwriters and publishers at the ASCAP Country Music Awards, which is happening tomorrow. No big deal. No stress.
Big night.
Just a big night to celebrate songwriters.
And beards and boots and all things country music.
I think we're going to see a lot of beards.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'll see if
history repeats itself.
I'll see if I can grow
beards
one.
are not going anywhere in country music, and neither are boots. We'll see how many cowboy hats we get. I don't know.
All right, so who are we honoring this year?
We've got such a oh my gosh, it's going to be such a special show. I love it because so many little things that we do are surprises, so people don't know until they're actually sitting in the seat in a room full of their peers, other songwriters, publishers. It's sort of one of those special nights where everyone really looks forward to it. So
right.
We got some surprises in store. Hillary Lindsey, one of the most thoughtful songwriters, not only in Nashville, but anywhere. We are honoring her with the Global Impact Award. So the community doesn't know that. They won't know until we kick off the show and announce that we're doing that.
Right.
Which I think will be a special moment all by itself, because there's not a songwriter in this town that hasn't been influenced by Hillary Lindsey. I mean, of all ages.
Right.
You know? And so she's just so deserving. And it's just going to be like a, yeah, we're doing it moment, and everybody's going to be like, this is awesome.
Very cool.
Because she's so worthy of accolade and celebration, and she's been in the ASCAP family for so long. It just is really special that we're getting to do that. We're also honoring Old Dominion's Matthew Ramsey and Trevor Rosen with the Songwriter Artist of the Year award. Matthew's actually won that a couple years ago. And so they're going to be receiving that award for songs that not only did they record with Old Dominion, but the Songwriter Artist of the Year award usually includes outside cuts that other artists record.
Right.
So they celebrated a big hit with another artist. So we're going to celebrate that. We're honoring the great Randy Travis with the ASCAP Founders Award. I don't know if there's a more recognizable voice in country music than
one of the all-time greats.
Randy Travis, and what a great guy. So him, the Brothers Osborne with the ASCAP Vanguard Award. Those guys, literally some of my first friends that I met when I moved to Nashville in 2008. So that's always going to feel like I don't know, is it a family reunion if you see each other all the time? It's just so cool to be able to honor buddies.
Right.
And
they're such fun guys just to
they're
hang
so
out
fun, with. And their sister Osborne, she's in the industry as well, and such a great supporter of songwriters that we work with here at ASCAP. So it's just, it's going to be a big family event with all of our brothers and sisters Osborne. Warner Chappell Music will be the ASCAP Publisher of the Year for representing 25 of this year's award-winning songs. That's record-breaking. It's quite the accomplishment.
Wow, that's amazing.
So they've really worked hard, and they do such a great job with celebrating their songwriters and putting them in, really curated rooms with other songwriters. So it's not an accident
right
that they win this award and that they have 25 songs. The staff there, certainly in the Nashville office, is really meticulous about the way that they do their business, and the connecting of different songwriters and giving them that creative space to get into a room and make magic. And so we're celebrating 25
That's
of those
great.
magics.
And publishers, don't always get the kudos that they deserve for all the work that they do behind the scenes of these artists and
Absolutely,
these songs.
they don't. And to have that sort of success with songs, but also they're just so supportive of what we do here at ASCAP. because a lot of what we do is development. And so when you find this talent and you nurture it, develop it, you want them to go into the loving arms of a great publisher.
Right.
So that nurturing and the development can continue. And Warner Chappell is a great partner in that, and they always have been. So excited to get to celebrate them. One thing that's really special this year is our ASCAP Song of the Year, which is by songwriter Stephen Beatty for his song One Number Away. This is his first ever ASCAP award. So to win Song of the Year is extra cool. He was at our ASCAP Expo this year.
Right. And I remember that.
He is just such an incredible guy. He has had Grammy success and Justin Bieber and, all these incredible cross-genre successes in every genre, really, like rap, pop, and now country is so cool. The chorus of this song is actually the exact same as a voice memo that he actually made them play at the expo.
Oh, I remember that.
Incredible. I was like, please, can we do this? Because that just shows like inspiration struck this guy.
Right.
And it has ended up being the ASCAP Song of the Year.
That's great.
What if he didn't wake up, at 3:00 in the morning with that idea? And so to see him as a new songwriter in Nashville, to have that kind of success that he can really own,
Right.
I love to get to celebrate someone like that. And he works so hard. He just hustles. It's so incredible to get to celebrate him. And then we have a special person by the name of Ashley Gorley with his 7th ASCAP Songwriter of the Year award. 7.
That's amazing.
He's won 7 times. 7 times he's earned that distinction just in the last decade.
That's crazy.
So 7 out of the 10 years he's been killing it.
A monster talent.
And he was killing it the years he didn't win too. It's just crazy, and it's just crazy and truly incredible. So I mean, we got a stacked night tomorrow night.
That's going to be a huge night.
It's been a lot of fun putting all the pieces into place. We've got some surprises as well. People that are going to really shock some people that they're here to celebrate and sing. And we went for it.
So you're an integral part of the show on Monday night. What do you love most, if you're able to appreciate the event for what it is? What do you love about it?
What do I love most about it? Oh man, I think that the ASCAP Country Music Awards are so special because they do celebrate the songs, the songwriters, and obviously artists and publishers are a big part of that. But for some of these songwriters, it's their first time to get to go and be celebrated and have their name called out on stage and get to walk up with their publishers and the people that have supported them in a room full of their peers. That is just, I have goosebumps. It's so incredible. And for me to get to be there to help in celebrating them, some of the folks that are winning, this is their first ever ASCAP award, meaning that this is their first taste of success as a songwriter over the past year. And to get to hand that to them is so special. To get to be with friends that I've known for over a decade.
Right.
The ASCAP Awards, I'm telling you, when I moved here in 2008, it's the first award show I ever went to. A friend of mine had tickets. It was at the Ryman. And I was like, cool, yeah, let's go to the ASCAP Awards. What is this? What are the ASCAP Awards? Reba was there. I love Reba. And I just remember I took a little picture on the red carpet that year. I still have it. And I was like, little did I know that I would be planning this event. Also, in my past life in television, I would be on the red carpet interviewing songwriters at the ASCAP Awards when I was at Opryland. Again, little did I know that this, the letters on the backdrop behind me for those interviews would be such a big part of my professional life, my personal life, just as a creative person, to know that I get to work with songwriters and publishers and for a company that stands for the things that it does, and for to be working for a company that's owned and operated by songwriters and publishers. Like, that means a whole lot to me.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I wake up every day appreciating ASCAP's mission and the fact that we are really supporting all these great songwriters and composers and letting the music live and thrive.
If it didn't feel that way, I couldn't do it,
Yeah.
to be honest, So I really thank ASCAP for letting me be part of this family in all the ways that I am. So, yeah, it's a cool job. If I'd have known this job existed, I would have wanted it right out of the gate. But thankfully I didn't. And all of the little things that I've done and all of my creative journey so far, this is the melting pot for them all. So I'm very happy to be here and to be able to celebrate the way we're going to tomorrow. It's kind of all a dream.
So let's move on to more country music with a higher calling, Carly Pearce. What can you tell us about Carly?
Carly, well, she's such an incredible person. Kentucky born and bred, Carly Pearce's career has been on the up and up ever since her 2017 song, Every Little Thing, debuted at #1 and designated her as one of only 3 women this decade to have achieved that honor. She followed up that hit with other chart toppers such as If My Name Was Whiskey and Hide the Wine, and she hit the road on major tours with Blake Shelton, Rascal Flatts, Luke Bryan, and Jason Aldean. In 2018, she won CMT's Breakthrough Video Award and the Radio Disney Country Best New Artist Award. This year, she has earned nominations for iHeartRadio Music Awards Best New Country Artist, ACM Awards New Female Artist of the Year, CMT Music Award Female Video of the Year, and is currently vying for CMA New Artist of the Year. She has partnered with the Country Music Hall of Fame and Museum on a 4-part video series called Unbroken Circle, exploring country music history with Carly Pearce that connects the genre's eras. And after releasing a new duet single, I Hope You're Happy Now, with Lee Brice, she just announced that she will be releasing her sophomore album, self-titled, in early 2020.
Well, she's definitely a woman on a mission. Now let's listen to Beth's interview with the talented Carly Pearce.
Hey, Carly.
Hi, Beth.
So we were just talking about how long we've known each other, since 2012 and the Country Throwdown Tour.
I kind of forgot. I said to you, that feels like another world.
It was another lifetime for me, for sure. I was living in Los Angeles.
I was confused, so it was definitely another life for me.
You're like, you were what?
I'm like, huh?
I know, you get on the road and it just becomes another world all its own.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
So, first of all, congratulations. You just got married.
Thank you.
With everything going on in your career, what was it like to get to celebrate a real life moment, forever milestone like that?
It was awesome. Just to have everybody that both of us have ever loved and ever poured into us as people, to be all in the same room celebrating finding the person that you're supposed to be with, was so special, and it was really the most perfect day.
That's like the hardest thing in the world to do, is find that person.
It really
I was
is
celebrating
hard.
#1s. I'm like, this is not the greatest accomplishment. Finding the person that you want to be with forever is that thing.
Absolutely. It's shown me, I never thought in a million years that I would find him, and also never thought I would find him and him be an artist. But it all of the hardships through my 20s of trying to figure out how to love somebody and why certain guys were not very nice, all led me to the right person.
Well, then you're like, oh, this is what it's supposed to be
This
like.
is why the
Wait
others
a
didn't
minute.
work out.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So how has it been to be able to kind of balance that personal and professional?
I have not figured that out yet. I think that's a work in progress. I don't know that it's hard. It's hard, especially when you have 2 artists who really, I feel like, are workaholics to the extreme level and want to say yes to everything because we're passionate about what we do, and it's hard. So I think we're figuring out our limits. I think we've hit our limits a few times as far as being apart and just trying to balance everything.
You get to have your first Christmas and Thanksgiving as married people.
I know.
That's
It's
something
crazy.
to kind of look forward to as you start winding down the year.
Yes,
after this
we
week.
are very excited.
Does it sort of start winding down a little?
No, I actually,
No,
both of
sure
us kind of
doesn't.
gear up. We go through, both of us go through mid-December, but then we get to go on a honeymoon. So we're like kind of balls to the walls till then. So we'll see if we can live to get to our honeymoon.
Speaking of exciting news, you just announced that you're going to release your new record February 2020.
Yes.
Yay!
Valentine's Day. I am
Oh, what a
so
day.
excited. Yeah. This record is extra special on a lot of different levels, but I'm just so happy it's been finished for a little bit, a couple months, and I'm just excited that it finally has like a date that it gets to come out into the world.
What does this collection of songs mean to you?
I think it's an evolution of the last couple of years for me. It's been the most crazy whirlwind ever. I think you know my journey so much, and my life really did change overnight with every little thing, and just having time to kind of process everything and finding Michael and finding love and going through this crazy whirlwind on the road and seeing that people do care about what I have to say, and all of those things have just made me, I think, more myself than ever. And that's why I did a self-titled album this time, just because I feel like these songs and this collection of music is me at my core and at my best.
So speaking of every little thing, you worked very closely with songwriter and producer Busby, who sadly passed away this year. What is it about your collaboration with him that you're going to remember the most?
Busby found me again in 2015 and signed me when nobody would even look at me, because I'd been in town for 5 years and trying to figure it out. He was family to me. He understood me on a level that nobody had really gotten until then. And it is one of the most tragic things I think I've witnessed in my life, watching that happen so quickly. But I think that what is beautiful about it is this was the last record, the second one that he got to finish before he passed. He turned it in 10 days before he was diagnosed. And that to me, I feel a responsibility to, and also just a beautiful thing that I get to do is keep his legacy and his music alive through the collection of songs that he's given me, because those are little gifts for me that will carry on with me, hopefully until I'm Dolly's age, still singing them. And that's really special.
We'll have to go by my office because I have a giant Dolly poster.
Do you?
I think you're going to love.
Uh-oh, I might steal it.
I was like, Carly's got to see this. Well, I think it's so special. Busby was such a special person, and I know that he's so proud of you. And
thank you.
And is going to be really excited to see how people react to what y'all created together.
Yeah.
Is there a thematic thread with the songs on this new record?
I don't know that there's a theme. I think more than anything, it's just really, really me at my core, not being, I think on my first record, I was searching a lot. I wrote a lot of those songs prior to getting a record deal, and I was chasing, I think, and searching and trying to figure out my way as just Carly, not even me in the industry. And I think that this is, again, I said, my music now has a place in the world that Busby helped me find and country music fans helped me find. And there's just like a sense of confidence that has come with that. And I've gotten to, with all respect to Nashville, but I've gotten to get away from Music Row and figure out that those years that I spent here really did a number on my heart and my confidence. When you're told no over and over and over again, you kind of have to figure out outside of that who you are. And I did. And I think that these songs are just me putting out and writing and recording the songs that I want to record.
What do you think it was about getting outside of town and sort of, was it just the freedom and the confidence that you found to just figure out who you were? Was it the fans?
Yeah, I think it's a mixture. I think it's being able to go out and play shows and see that your music connects, and seeing that you are valuable. I spent so long in Nashville trying to get this to happen, and overnight it all changed for me. And that was really hard. I don't think that until after my first single went #1 did I really even understand that this really happened to me, because you chase something for so long and you get beat down. And I had to kind of deal with that transition in my life of going from, is this going to happen, to, oh my goodness, it happened.
Gosh, yes.
And it's happening. And I think fans have helped me do that. I think getting away from just the business side of things and realizing that people want to hear music and people do gravitate towards your music and they love it. And I think I've just slowly but surely built that confidence up in myself, because it was pretty beat down by the time Every Little Thing came out.
Isn't that funny? It's like you hit the scene and it's like, she's amazing, this is awesome, and then you've been here all along trucking away.
Totally. And
it's nothing about it is overnight.
My story is so weird in the sense that I was here for 8 years and literally put this song out, and the next day had so many managers, labels just at my feet wanting to be a part of it. And it was like, wait a minute, 2 weeks ago Busby and I sat in your office and played you Every Little Thing and you didn't like it.
Right.
You know, and then all of a sudden a month later I'm out on radio tour, and it was just like, wait a minute, what? And you know, it was just hard.
That sort of industry feeling, it reminds me of why it's so special what we get to do here at ASCAP, because I don't even know if we don't think about you in that terms. We're home base, and you've always just been our Carly, and you've known Mike Sistad forever, who's now running the Nashville office, vice president of membership. Go, buddy, Mike.
Yes, Mike.
So to know that that's also the world out there, when it's usually just home base here and safe place and development, and you know, like Mike took you to the CMAs.
I was like, how do I interject this story? Mike, the year Every Little Thing was about to come out, the week after the CMAs in 2016. And he asked me to be his date. Yes. And I was like, sure, yes, I would love that. And I knew that Every Little Thing was coming out on Sirius XM, but I was just sad. And I remember sitting in the business section, you know, the music industry section of the CMAs, and sitting there thinking, and Mike looking at me going, I promise you're going to get up there in the artist section. I promise. Little did I know 1 year later, but just having those certain people, and I feel like I need to be honest that there have been those key people, like people at ASCAP and people throughout the course of my career, like Mike Sistad, like you, like Leanne Phelan that used to be here, that really did always believe that I would get there. But that's such a sweet memory for me to think. And then fast forward a couple years and now I'm nominated, not only getting to sit in the artist section. Yeah, it's just,
I got goosebumps.
It all works out in its time.
I know. And I think about Mike Sistad and his work with also the Brothers Osborne, and like these old pictures that he'll post on Facebook of these Bluebird rounds, and everybody was just little babies, but there was Mike, steady as he ever is. Safety Mike is sometimes what we call him. Yeah. And he just believes so much. And so I think we're so lucky that he's here. I love Mike. And I love that y'all have that special thing. And he had been such a special part of your career. It's so sweet.
Since the beginning.
Such a big heart, you know. And I think that's, if we didn't get to do it that way, then what are we really doing?
Totally.
There's a fundamental business side of what we do here, but that's such a special heart of it, you know.
Yeah, he always told me once he was like, you and Brothers Osborne, you were my babies that I wanted to see. And he was like, I knew it was going to happen. You're the last one. I needed it to happen.
Oh, that makes me want to cry. Damn, buddy Mike. Okay, so, and probably in all those meetings with Mike, you were playing him songs and he would kind of help you guide through that process. What is a songwriting session like for you? What's it like in the room when you get in there?
It's changed. So now it's like on my bus or when I'm home. You know, I think it's different for every session. I'm lucky now that I've kind of found my core group of songwriters that I really love to write with. And our writing sessions, I feel like, start very differently. It could be with an idea. It could be with a title. It could be with some sort of melody or a track going that's inspiration. So I feel like it changes every day, which is what to me makes it fun. There's no real true way there's no formula to write a song. You just I know how they're going to go with each person that I write with, but it's fun to not know what you're going to do first, what's going to come first.
Right. And to think what the kind of song you're going to get with somebody, and then to walk out with what?
Totally. Something that happens a lot. Yeah.
Do you find that being out on the road and seeing all these new places, do you get a lot of ideas out there? You know, or is it that you're so busy that you're like, it's you have to compartmentalize that side of your creativity?
I've pretty much been on the road since Every Little Thing happened. And I remember when Busby was like, hey, we need to like start thinking about your second record. I was like, hey, what?
When?
Because to me, I didn't realize how much time had passed, and you have to get ahead of those things. And it was hard. I mean, it's hard to get into the mindset, because when you're on the road, you're kind of in like show and interview and radio mindset, and then to kind of flip into this mindset but still be out there, it's difficult. So I think that was a hard transition for me versus the first record. But I think now I'm prepared for my next record to know, okay, this is going to be, you're going to have to kind of multitask and hopefully eventually be able to carve out writing months versus touring months and those type of things. So yeah, it's crazy.
Balance, always balance.
Yes,
so
balance.
We could talk a whole thing about trying to balance it all out. So it's all happened so quickly, but not so quickly. But quickly. What's one of the biggest lessons that you've learned in, say, the past 2 years since Every Little Thing came out? Is there one thing that you're like, whoa?
I mean, just to put into people's brains, I'm sitting in the room where I was sitting with an all-girls group that I've referenced quite a few times. After I lost my first record deal, and it's how I met Kelsey Ballerini, was in this room, being honest, crying, saying I didn't know what I was going to do. And I think like if I could go back to that girl that was sitting on that couch and just, I think like the biggest lesson has been timing. Everything happens for a reason, and certain things in your life don't happen because they're not supposed to happen, and you can't fast forward and like make things happen quicker than they're supposed to. And that goes for even now, just certain things in my career in the last 2 years, like everything does happen the way it's supposed to. And I think just trusting the process, I think I would have been a lot happier girl sitting in this room all those years ago if I could have just understood that it was a journey and a process, and it was going to be okay. But you don't know that at the time.
You don't know that. And I feel like everyone's always thinking that they're missing out, or someone's getting ahead if they're not, and the pressure is just on. I always say that. I'm like, just put the gun down, like, no, this is not. Yeah. There's no such thing as a song emergency. This is not life or death. Right. And you have to trust that process, because, you have to be gracious and forgiving with yourself, because it is such an interesting and a delicate process that the pressures that young artists, specifically young female artists, put on themselves is so detrimental. And that's like always my biggest advice. I'm just like, don't compare yourself. Try so hard to write great songs. Mm-hmm. That's going to set you apart.
My early and mid 20s, I feel like I don't even really remember them, because all I did was beat myself up and just think that I wasn't good enough and wasn't worthy. And I see new females that come out now and open for me, and they ask advice, or I get messages or whatever, and I'm just like, don't hate yourself. Just love yourself and enjoy your 20s, because you won't get them back, and it's all going to be fine. Just make great music. Focus on that, because it'll happen with that.
Absolutely. And I think the writing process of that, I always say in Nashville, I'm like, write thoughtful lyrics and great songs, and that's going to always get you the kind of attention you want as an artist.
Totally. When I was chasing, then I wrote Every Little Thing, and it was like, oh, this is when people get excited. I could see the difference of chasing, and then when I just wrote what I wanted.
You weren't trying to write something you thought was going to get played on the radio. You wrote an amazing song that ended up on the radio.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, man, that is such good advice. I'm so happy that these young female artists especially have you out there, and you just have such an honesty to who you are. I can say that because I know you, but who you are as an artist now, you're using that platform to pour back in and invest in other people. And I think that's the thing that people are going to remember the most.
Isn't that something?
Isn't that also a relief, right?
It is.
You don't have like thinking about charts and whatever. If you're investing in the right things, people or whatever.
Yeah.
Then
and I think it's
going to be
to
the legacy.
Forget when you get it that you struggled.
Right.
Some people don't want to share that. And for me, I wanted people to know. For the person that sits on this couch and cries to you now, I want them to know I did that too. And I didn't really know, because social media, when I was here in the beginning, was kind of like, I remember learning about Instagram. As weird as that sounds.
I was like, what? I don't think I'm gonna do that.
Yeah,
That's what I said.
exactly.
Nah.
And
I'm just gonna tweet.
Exactly. I've talked to Trisha Yearwood and a few other artists that I loved, and I didn't know what they were doing, or their struggles, or their journeys, or things like that. And I think it's like important and also awesome that we have the opportunity to share struggles and humanize ourselves, because we can easily, people can look at us and see us on stage, or see us on a magazine, or see us on an award show, but we're still human beings. And that's what I've always tried to, or what I'm trying to do, is just humanize myself.
Have you had a lot of fun using Instagram as a way to connect with fans?
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to know the line, because I just want to share it all. I think it's funny and fun. And, but yeah.
It's the Dolly in you.
I think maybe,
You know?
I hope so. Just, I want people to know I'm real, and, you know, for every glammed up picture, we need to like bring it down, because girls, you too can buy that hair online, and you
Amen,
can buy
sister.
the lashes at Walgreens. I'll tell you which kind. Like, you know what I mean?
Yes,
And
yes.
I just,
Oh my
that's the
gosh.
fun of it, I guess.
Totally. Oh my goodness. Speaking of putting on your lashes, you have been invited to perform on the Grand Ole Opry more than 70 times. That is incredible.
Thank you.
And does it ever get old?
No, it doesn't.
No. Sugar, no, it sure doesn't.
It is, that was my dream as a little girl, was getting to play at the Opry. And I was grateful in the way that ASCAP has always stuck by me. The Opry let me play when I was 25, and I had one song on Sirius XM called Blame the Whiskey.
I remember that song.
It's forever going to be locked away. But they believed in what I was doing, and have kind of been there since the beginning. And I feel like I'm just family to them in a way that I hope one day to be a member. And I want that, and have tried to make that a part of my brand, because I think it's so important just to really cherish that place, because it is so crucial to our genre.
I think you also do a very good job of bringing in the history and the traditions of country music to what you're doing. Even the songs you're releasing, I can hear it.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, it's so thoughtful the way that you're doing it. Thank you.
Oh, thank you for saying
that.
that.
I was literally in Texas in a D&D. What? I don't know. I was like, am I back in my FFA days? This is weird. And then on the radio, I was like, what is this? I hadn't heard the new single yet.
Oh.
And it was playing. And I was like, ooh, what is this? This is country. And then I was like, oh, it's Carly singing a Jonathan Singleton song.
Yes,
you know,
yeah.
like speaking of Country Throwdown, that's crazy. And Lee and everybody, it's just, you're doing it.
I want to make country music. I think that, you know, having Busby as a producer lends itself to, it did lend itself to be a little bit of an experiment. But when I would bring him songs like, hey, I wrote this song called I Hope You're Happy Now, he knew what to do with it. Yeah. He knew at the core who I was.
Absolutely.
And he was able to just bring that out. He could get down on some Alison Krauss and
Oh,
Patti
I know.
Loveless. You know,
that's
he
what
knew.
I love.
I helped him.
Well, that's kind of the cool part about mixing styles that way, and you're really good at that, and not ever putting the pressure on yourself to do just one thing because you think you have to. You know, I think that goes back to the confidence that you were talking about, figuring out who you are and what you want to say.
Yep.
So it's pretty awesome to be sandwiched in with some, especially those at the Opry. You never know who's going to be playing. It could be like Bill Anderson or whatever. I mean, it's like it's a surprise every time.
It is so fun.
The energy backstage there is always so special.
There's no place like it.
No.
And there's no show like it.
When you walk in under the little awning, and then it's special.
It's my favorite.
And that's kind of been a part of you and Michael's relationship too, right?
The first time, I mean, I've known Michael for years, but the first time that we ever hung out, he and I started talking about country music and the Opry, and he had his Opry debut on my birthday, and it was so special to him. And I was like, does this person really love the Opry as much as I do? And he does. And that's such a fun thing for me, because I do think it gets lost in my generation. I don't think that people really hold it as highly as they should.
Sure.
And he does. And I have a lot of respect for him.
And
for
that's
that.
sexy.
That is so sexy. The fact that he loves the Grand Ole Opry and all the security guards and old people like I do. I
love old people so much. Yes. Oh my gosh. Okay, so since releasing your last album in 2017, you've achieved so much success. So Every Little Thing was one of the highest charting solo female debuts of the entire decade. CMT Music Award, Female Video of the Year, nominations for ACM Award for New Female Artist of the Year, and this year you're nominated for CMA New Artist of the Year. You are all up in that artist section now.
I'm right there now.
And you're performing.
Yeah. In a lot of ways, I still feel like I don't have a seat at the cool table. I hope I never really lose that.
Yes.
Because this stuff is all just still
so sweet.
So, oh my gosh. Like I will be freaking out at the CMAs because it's all I ever wanted to do. I still feel like a little nerd.
And, all ladies hosting, and it's going to be a little, I think it's going to be sassy this year.
Good. It should be.
Yeah.
My first nomination needs to be a sassy show.
Oh, it's going to be sassy. Can't wait to see what you're wearing, girl.
Oh, yes.
So one of the things that we're doing is talking to, where it's a wellness initiative where we're recently reaching out to our members to ask them how important health and wellness is in their careers, and it's an overwhelming majority said that it's extremely important, which is why ASCAP is launching a new wellness initiative to support our members' mind, body, and soul. So we're asking all of our podcast guests to share some of your wellness practices. How you take care of your mind and your body, especially when you're on tour.
Oh, gosh. Well, getting a bus has been a game changer for me. Just getting out of airports and things. Eating healthy on the road is really hard. Mm-hmm. So I use my bus as just a kitchen. I make all my meals, which really does help my brain. And because I'm a very healthy person in general, and like if I can know what I'm going to eat and be able to make it and like have that sense of home where I'm at, that's very good for my brain and for my body. I'm a runner, so I love to run and work out, and all that stuff has been kind of something that I've loved over the last 10 years. And also, I don't know, I feel like for my mind, I've had a few different body shamers online that have been really mean. And it has helped me so much to share that, to then in return hear so many other stories of how people have dealt with that or how they've appreciated me sharing my experiences with that. And that's really helped my confidence in my mind. Just supporting women, because we all go through people want to hurt people, and sometimes I'm bloated on stage, and sometimes I'm really going for it with a note, and my stomach may not look the best, and people take pictures of that. And I don't know, I feel like that's been just a sense of confidence for me over the last couple of years of being honest that body stuff is things that it is a subject that all of us have our own stories with. And
absolutely,
I feel like just that's helped my overall health, just getting that out and sharing it and not trying to hide it.
Amen, sister. I think that that's an interesting way that you can also use your platform, right? Mm-hmm. These are things that are on spotlight because you're on stage and people are posting pictures and comments. I mean, that's kind of the ugly side of this cool platform like Instagram.
Right.
But calling it out and owning your body that's power.
It has
they
been
don't understand
powerful.
that they're just giving you power.
It's true. It's fun.
Ugh.
Don't message me, you're gonna get blasted. You post a picture, I'm gonna blast you.
Everyone experiences stress and anxiety to some degree. Was there ever a time in your life when you felt kind of just overwhelmed by it, and what did you do to remedy it? Are you feeling it now?
Like, wine? Why do I sing about wine? I am grateful that I don't battle a lot of anxiety. I have many loved ones that do, that I have a very, just a I see what it can do. I will say, living here, going through the process of exposing yourself, playing shows and different things like that, I think I dealt with a lot of anxiety, social anxiety, with what people thought of me in the town, that during awards week, when you're put back in that room, you feel it. I still sometimes feel like the girl that nobody wanted to answer my emails. That is something that I have to work through every single time that I'm in a room with all of the music industry.
Sure.
And I think for me, it's just keeping my mind in check with every thought of, you are the one that is feeling this way, and nobody else knows that you're feeling that way, and it's
Absolutely.
an asinine feeling. That those thoughts are not real. And just trying to go thought by thought to change your thoughts.
The thoughts aren't real. The feelings are real.
The feelings are real, but the idea that you have in your head of what people think about you, they're probably not even thinking about you, is the funny part.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
With this industry?
Yes.
So consumed with what they're doing themselves, and especially now with Instagram, and
yes.
nobody's
No, nobody cares that much.
Cares
so when
that
you see me in the
much.
corner with wine, you'll know that's the way I cope with it.
When you see me in the corner with wine, I find you.
Because I'm actually the type of person, really, I'm a loner, and I actually at those events, like socially, I would say I have social anxiety a little bit. I would prefer that no one talk to me. I would be fine to just be in the room and exist and just watch, but I'm fine to just be alone. So that's hard.
That's an adjustment.
That's an adjustment.
People want to talk
sometimes.
to you.
It's different.
It's
different.
They're like, talk to me.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, no, I'm going to talk to myself with my wine.
I'm just a little loner at
I
heart.
understand that. I think that people have a pretty good idea of who people are because of what they do, and if they're outspoken and shiny and vibrant. But I definitely identify with that, because if I can choose between a big crowd of people or a couch with my dog and my man,
Totally.
and some Friday Night Lights, then I'm gonna probably do that.
I kind of feel like an extroverted introvert.
Yeah.
Got a big personality on stage, but then she kind of is quiet.
I like that.
You know?
I like that, girl. I feel you on that one. Like many other ASCAP members are celebrating our community's finest songwriters and music publishers tomorrow night. Our theme this year is Welcome Home. In that way, what makes ASCAP feel like home to you?
I have so much, they're loyal and they're steady for me in my career. I've had a lot of changes. I've had a lot of people come in later, go change. They've been my steady since I moved here. There's been steady belief in me. There's been steady. I've sat in these rooms and poured my heart out many times to Mike Sistad and different people throughout the years. And I will always feel safe when I come home to ASCAP, because they have been there since the beginning. And I know that their belief and love for me has never wavered with songs on the charts or no songs on the chart.
And it won't. I love that you've had such a special journey with ASCAP. I think that a lot of people have, but it's always so special when it's been, I think it's sort of intimate as the one that you've had, where you have literally been, our Carly.
Mm-hmm.
And to get to sort of have that nurtured journey, and then we get to celebrate you.
Yeah.
And be so proud of you,
Mm.
but still be your home base and safe spot, and never gonna care about the charts. We're your fan.
Mm-hmm.
Carly, not
Yeah.
stage Carly. Nerd Carly.
Nerd Carly.
Yeah.
She's big. She's
Quiet
big.
Carly.
I genuinely, one of my big dreams was having Mike Sistad get to present me at, and introduce me at my number one party. I
Yeah.
wanted that so bad. Like, that was something that I wanted, because he'd been there forever.
Right.
So it's awesome.
Oh, I love that so much. I got goosebumps. Podcast goosebumps. For those other young singer-songwriters coming up, what's the best advice you would give for ensuring that you're focusing your spirit and your energy on the right things?
Focus on the music. Focus on differentiating yourself from everybody else here, because everybody's talented. Focus on what makes you unique. Don't worry about your age or how much money you have or what kind of jeans you're wearing. All of that stuff doesn't matter. If you work really hard, put your head down, work, and differentiate yourself. Why should people listen to you? What makes you unique versus everybody else that's here trying to do it? And love yourself through the process, because it is a process.
Amen, sister girl. Well, thank you so much, Carly. We can't wait to hear more great music from you. We love that you're a member of our ASCAP family, and you can come and drink wine or cry or just hang out anytime.
That still?
All of that
awesome.
still.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Sometimes I need that.
Anytime. Yeah.
Thank you.
Or we'll meet you on the road and I'll bring the wine.
You come on.
Okay, Beth, now it's time for a little sound advice. What can you school us on today?
All right, so today we're going to talk about the importance of joining ASCAP as both a writer and a publisher.
And what's important to know?
All right, so when you write a piece of music, copyright law gives you the rights of a music publisher. Basically, a publisher controls how music is used and distributed. Most ASCAP members know to join as a writer, but you're missing out on up to 50% of your royalties if you don't also have a publisher account. When ASCAP pays money, half of it goes to the writers, half of it goes to the publishers. This is money that's already reserved for you as a publisher. You just need to sign up so that we have an entity to send it to you.
So how can writers do that?
It's super easy. Just go to ascap.com/join and click the writer and publisher option, or just publisher if you're already affiliated as a writer. You need an email, a mailing address, and a U.S. tax ID. 10 minutes and you're done. So now when you register your music with ASCAP, you can add your publishing name and make sure you're getting what you're owed. The other cool thing is you can name your publishing company pretty much anything you want.
And there's some ridiculous publisher names out there, but they are fun. Some of my favorites include French Montana's Excuse My French, the All-American Rejects, the indie rock group publishing is called Smells Like Phys Ed Music, a good one, and Robert Ellis Oral, a Nashville writer, called his publishing Oral Fixation Music. Very clever.
I like Sia's is Pineapple Lasagna, and Haley Williams of Paramore called hers, But Father, I Just Want to Sing Music.
The point is, you don't have to be too serious in naming your publishing. Just have fun with it. And speaking of having fun, it's been fun co-hosting this episode with you. Did you have fun?
I had so much fun. Thank you so much for having me. Let's do this again, okay?
Sure. I'll make some cookies.
All right.
Thanks, Beth.
Thanks, Eric.
It's 2020, everybody. New year, new intentions, new opportunities to take your music career to a whole new level. Make a resolution now to attend the ASCAP Experience, the world's premier music conference for music creators, which will take place April 1st through the 3rd this year at the Intercontinental Hotel in downtown Los Angeles. The ASCAP Experience brings together thousands of music creators from across the globe to connect and collaborate over 3 full days. In addition to valuable face-to-face networking, the experience offers a wide variety of panels hosted by top creators and music industry professionals. The panels are tailored to cover important topics like your brand, money, wellness, and advice on how to create exciting new music. There are also plenty of opportunities to get live feedback from industry professionals about your music, participate in showcases, and enjoy performances from iconic songwriters. Use code VERSED to save 10% off the current price for ASCAP Experience. That's over 35% off the full price ticket. This exclusive code is valid for a limited time only until January 22nd, so act now. If you'd like to support our mission for VERSED, the ASCAP podcast, subscribe, rate, and comment on the show on your favorite streaming platform, especially on Apple Podcasts. Even a simple rating will help us to introduce the show to new people and make it more visible. Share the show on social media, subscribe to ASCAP on YouTube, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. And thanks to y'all who collaborated on this episode. Carly Pearce for her words of wisdom, Beth Brinker for her Jedi co-hosting skills, The Midnight Hour's Adrian Young and Ali Shahid Muhammad for our cool theme music, Eitan Rosenblum for editorial, research, and masterfully getting this all up on the web, Benjamin Keynes of SightSense Productions for audio and video editing, and as always, Kate Cordova and Sarah Feingold for their great production, social media, and all-around moral support. If you'd like to check out our show notes and listen to the music mentioned on today's show, visit ascap.com/versed. Thanks for listening. We'll see you back here real soon.